2 minutes to be.
Data alone doesn't change minds, but when you can convert it into a visual story, that's when things start to connect. Every team works.
Hi everyone, it's Yanis here, and in this video we will explore what is prototype. We all have great ideas that we want to bring to life, but before we do that, it's a great strategy to test out these ideas. If this is your first time on this channel, then make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon to get updates on my latest videos about time management and productivity. Prototype is an early sample, model or release of a product built to test a concept or process. If you're creating or building something new, then it might be quite an expensive process that might end up not working as intended. So the solution is to create a prototype for a much cheaper cost to see if it's worth building the full version of the product. For example, when I was developing my second mobile game, me and my team came up with 10 different ideas for a hyper-casual mobile game. Then we evaluated and decided to create 3 prototypes to see what they would feel like on a mobile device before making a decision about what game to develop. This enabled my team to get a real feel about different game concepts and therefore make more informed decision. Of course, it is important to note that the prototype is a very minimalistic version of what the real end product will look like. Therefore, only key features can be tested, while you have to imagine how everything else will sit around the core concept. I think that prototypes are a great tool that can be used to test new concepts and ideas with quite a high accuracy. When we come up with new ideas, they often sound great in our heads, but when we try to bring them to reality, it doesn't always work that well. So building a prototype can potentially save you a lot of time and money when it comes to developing new products or services. I hope that you enjoyed this video and I was able to give you a quick summary of what prototype is and how to use them. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you could press the like button, as this will help the video reach more people and spread the message.
Y'all, hey, don't mind people's voice on here and don't be minding how they be talking now. He explained that very well. You get past all of that. You see what I'm saying? Now, we're going to move on. Why are we even talking about this? Well, first of all, it's Tech Tuesday. All right? So, we got to be in some sort of reference to the tech. Now, remember, the tech is always you. Let me go to my big screen. At all points in time, the tech is you. You are the technology, all right? So when you getting into your factory of your mind and you thinking of new ideas, new things that you want to do, whether they are about money, whether they're about saving time, whatever it is that you're thinking about, think of it in this sort of process, this sort of way, and you can crank out a lot of working things. All right, let's keep it moving though. Now, what do you do after you get the prototype? Let's scroll down, see what we got. Let me see something. Best prototypes that made. Oh, they knew what I was thinking. Oh, I want to see that made it. I don't want to see the ones that failed right now. How to create, design, and manufacture a product from scratch. 10 prototypes. Okay. On 2021, let's see.
Here at First Build, it's our mission to launch 12 new products every single year. In order to do that, we have to go through hundreds of ideas, many of which are submitted by you, our community. Today, I'm going to go through the top 10 ideas that went from concept all the way to prototype of 2021.
Yes, sir. Let's go. My bad, y'all.
The intelligent EV charger was a way to balance out the electrical load that electric vehicles would pull while charging overnight at a house. This prototype was able to dynamically change the electric load in order to prevent fuses from being blown in your house. The problem we found with this is that they already exist. The intelligent electrical vehicle charger was retired. The coffee grinder silencer is basically a big box that you put your coffee grinder in to silence it when you're grinding your coffee or making a smoothie. And it came into being because
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. It's good to be in here again with y'all today. You know what time it is. We about to go ahead and get a little bit of expansion. Yeah. All right. So you're gonna find your root. You're gonna grow, and if you have not, and if you did not, and this is your first time here, go ahead, like, subscribe, make sure you turn on them notifications, cause you're not gonna want to miss when I go live on Expansion Pack. I may be live on the video game all day long, but when I get on here on this Expansion Pack, I'm serious now. I'm real serious. I take this job real serious now. Very, very serious. Very seriously. All right, now let's get this motivation for today, y'all. I gotta get some motivation for my women out there. Let me get the screen off there for y'all. Give me 2, 3, 4. There you go. All right, there you go. Motivation for mothers. Let's go. Motivation for mothers. Let's go, moms out there. Let's get them mamas. We keep hearing the same ones.
Guess which student has a better chance of getting into an Ivy League school? First, take a look at Zach. He's valedictorian, National Merit Scholar, and he's president of the debate team. He's got a 4.4 weighted GPA and a near perfect score on the SAT.
All right, let's go. Let's get motivated.
You don't know what I can do. You don't know what I can do. What I can do. What I'm gonna be. You don't know I'm good. I have good things that you don't know about, and I'm gonna be something. I am.
See, the greatest gift my mother ever gave me, she believed in me. I've overdosed on drugs on 3 occasions where I should have been dead, but I believe I was kept here for a reason. You show me your friends, I will show you your future. How do I know this? Because I hung out with losers, I became the biggest loser of them all, because I gave up everything I dreamt about as a little boy, because of who I chose to surround myself with. My friends would drive me home at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. We'd be drunk and high in the car. We'd pull up in front of my house. My buddies would go, Mark, the light's on. I'd go, oh man, my mother's up. See, my mom wouldn't go to bed until she knew her son was still alive. I'd walk in, she'd say, hi Mark, how was your night? I goes, good Mom, I'm just gonna go to bed. She goes, can I talk to you just for a minute? I go, Mom, I'm tired, I'm just gonna go to bed. She goes, Mark, I haven't seen you all day and all night. Can I please talk to you? I go, man, just leave me alone. You bug me. I'd slam my bedroom door on the one person who believed in me. I was on a worldwide tour and I was wrestling overseas in Japan. After my wrestling match, I went upstairs to my hotel and I fell asleep. There was a knock at my door at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got out of bed, I looked through the safety window of the hotel door, and I could see it was a Japanese promoter, so I opened the door and he said, Mark, you need to call home. There's been an emergency. So I got on the hotel room phone, I called back to the United States and said, hey, what's going on? He said, Mark, I don't know how to tell you this. I go, just tell me what happened. All of a sudden they started crying. They go, Mark, I can't tell you. Just say it. He said, Mark, your mother died. I just threw the phone down. I ran out of my hotel room. I took the elevator to the lobby. When the doors opened up, I just ran out into the street. And I remember looking up and just saying, Mom, I am so sorry. I flew home for her funeral, and I was so nervous to walk up to her casket. So I just stood way in the back. And I remember just kept thinking to myself, I'm like, Mom, please wake up. Please get up. And then I finally got the nerve to walk up to her, and she was so beautiful. She was dressed in white. I mean, she looked like an angel. I said, Mom, you are my hero. Everything I am, everything I hope to be was because of you. You loved me so much. You gave me a life. You worked 2 jobs. You're the only one that ever believed in me. How did I repay her? By getting drunk? By getting high? By getting stupid? By hanging out with losers? For what? All she ever wanted to do was talk to me. If you have a mother or a father, tell them how much you love them. See, my whole life was about being rich and famous. That's all I cared about. I had to win the race. I had to win the race at the expense of my marriage, my family, my friends. For what? To be all alone in this world? That's not how it's intended to be. Life is not about winning the race. Life is about finishing the race and how many people we can all help finish this race. How we can start being kinder to each other. How we can help the students that are going through adversity right now.
Yes.
How we can stop with the name calling and hurting other people. Because in the end, it may be you that needs help to finish the race. Because I learned what is truly important, and that is how precious this gift of life is, and how quickly it can be taken away. See, I no longer live in time. I live in moments. I'm not worried about tomorrow. It's not what's in your pocket that matters. It's what's in your heart that truly matters. Love is just a word until somebody comes along and gives it meaning. You are the meaning.
This one was tough. Now, I ain't gonna lie. It opened up kind of tough on me. But I liked it. It got me in the right type of mood. Wednesdays we do our motivation for our women out there. And think about this one simple thing. Where would we be without our mother? I don't know. And I ain't talking about as in, how does she teach you? How does she show you to do what you did? No, I'm talking about where would you be? You might not be here. They have to find another way to bring the churns in this life. All right, so today we talking about back to school. Back to school. We talking about, we gonna hit as many of these levels as we can hit. We talking about college, high school, elementary, and middle. We don't even go no lower because it ain't no lower. All right, so let's get into it. Let's see what tips. My bad, I hit the mic. Hacks for back to school. There you go. Let's see what's popping.
If you've been given a new timetable and you're struggling to learn it, you can take a photo of it on your phone and set it as your lock screen picture and your wallpaper. If you're packing gym shoes, your bag for sports lessons, you can use tumble dryer laundry sheets to keep them smelling fresh. Just tuck one in each shoe to help fight those nasty odors. If you haven't got dryer sheets, you can try using a couple of tea bags instead. If your zip breaks when you're doing up your bag, you can use a paper clip to replace it. Just thread it through for an instant DIY handle.
I gotta do that.
This pencil spinning trick is great when you're sat at your desk with nothing to do. You can do it with a pen too. Just one small flick can spin it around 180 degrees. You do it by applying pressure and flicking down here with the corner of your thumbnail.
I ain't got no pencil right here.
If you've been given a new timetable...
A new timetable? Let's go.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
It's that time of year again, and today I'm going to show you some really cool back-to-school hacks. If your zip breaks on your pencil case, if you link a few paper clips to 2 pens, put one to make a chain, you can use them to draw a circle. Take 2 pens, put one in the end like this, then depending how big you want the circle, you can select what points you put the other pen in. Then pivot the second pen around the first to draw yourself a circle. And you can use different paper clips for different circle sizes.
Ah, that's my guy. Hey, Dan, Eli, art class about to be popping. Y'all can draw perfect circles without nothing but give me 2 pens and a paper clip and some paper clip. Give me 2 pens and some paper clip. Just in case y'all didn't hear me say it. Give me 2 pens and some paper clips. Draw you a perfect circle.
If you need some scissors but haven't got any, you can take a couple of plastic rulers, hold them like this to give you some DIY makeshift scissors. Perfect for cutting paper or thin card.
No way.
I even used them to cut out this circle we drew earlier.
Yeah. Hey, hold up. I ain't got no. I'm the master of rulers. I ain't got my rulers handy right now, but I got scissors. I need. Get out of here.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's my guy. Look at my guy.
You can use a drill to make small holes every centimetre up your ruler to help you draw circles too. I stopped when I got to the 10 centimetre point. And remember to put one on the 0 line too.
Okay.
We now have a quick and simple way to draw circles of various sizes. Push a pen or drawing pin through the 0 hole and select the radius of the circle you want to draw.
Yep,
this makes it super easy.
I got this little tool for that too.
If you need to staple some papers together, but you've run out of staples, and maybe you haven't got any paper clips, you can make a small diagonal slice in your papers like this.
Let me see how to do that.
Fold the corners over and tuck them through the hole like this. Fold it all flat and your pages are now crimped firmly together.
Got it.
It is pretty strong and it looks really cool too.
Got it.
You can use a red paperclip to leave a special message for a loved one. Hold the paperclip like this and bend it around like this. Make sure this part is at the back. Then twist it over to this side and it should look like this.
Heart.
Hook it over the top of a loved one's papers to leave them a romantic love heart. Instead of wasting scraps of paper, you can make your own whiteboard by putting a piece of paper or card inside of a plastic wallet. Just use dry wipe marker pens and you're good to go. You can doodle or make whatever notes you want to, then just wipe them out with paper. Quick and easy to remove the evidence. If you're bored, you can take a couple of colouring pens and try writing or drawing with the two tips close together. If you like, you can use some putty to hold them firm and see what you get. You can get creative and start designing. You can use a pen to open up a staple if you need to add or remove pages. If you haven't got anything to collect your pencil shavings when you're sharpening your pencil, you can remove the lid from an old Tic Tacs container, sit the sharpener inside, and fix it in place with hot glue. Once it's set, you can clip it back together
and you got a pencil sharpener.
And use the sharpener.
Let's go.
If you want to smuggle in some bubblegum roll, you can take it out of the box, uncoil it slightly, or just remove the centre, and fit it inside a tape dispenser. Now you can keep it in plain view on your desk, and the chances are no one will notice. Sneaky, huh?
Yeah.
If you want to be notified every time I launch a new video, make sure you click the notification bell by the subscribe button.
I ain't gonna
have fun, stay safe, and as always, thanks for watching.
Gonna like that. All right, so let's see. Back to school for college. Let's see what's up.
If you want to get A's this school year, having the right supplies is important. I'll be honest, I didn't do a good job with this back in high school. I'd sometimes get things that I didn't really need because they'd make me feel smarter. But in college, I figured out the bare essentials I actually needed. So some students will just need an iPad. But personally, I used a folder, 1-inch binder, some loose leaf paper, these binder dividers, 0.5mm mechanical pencils, a highlighter, and my favorite, one of these 4-color pens. If you want to get A's this school year, having the right supplies is important. I'll be honest, I didn't do a good job with this back.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see what it's looking like. Watch this before you go back to school. Hey. All right, we're going to fast forward to the middle. Yeah. We're going to go to the middle of this and see. That is neat. The Tic Tac container. Yeah, it is. That's the same thing I said.
Back to school shopping. This is the time we all been waiting.
I'll go get 4 of them Tic Tac containers and do that. And just give them to the kids whenever they, or keep
It's that time of the year. Everyone. Invigorating icy mint. What the hell? I'm gonna go with this one, the clean mint one. Put that in the cart. And see, next thing I'm gonna go with y'all is this Method Man body wash right here. This one is actually. You cannot be serious, twin. This is really what half y'all niggas need right here. It's that Manscaped motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Oh, good. That's some regular sauce. Bro, after you brought, we also got some Aquaphor.
That's what's up, bro. Okay. Y'all, we ain't gonna do that. Let's see what this is.
I couldn't figure out why all my students were sitting on one side of the classroom. And then I looked up. Apparently students are like moths.
Yeah. Look, everybody got their back to school supplies. All right, let's see. We changing. Okay, hold on. College 2025. Let's just type it in. See what these kids talking about. Ooh, this gonna be a good one. Hold on.
College. Low-key can be a hit or miss. For some people, they might really enjoy college. And for others, they might have felt like they just wasted their time. But if you would have asked me 2 years ago if going to college is worth it, I'll tell you, hell yeah, of course. When in reality, I was a stupid, naive kid who never experienced college. Compared to if you would have asked me today, my answer would be totally different now. Choosing to go to college after high school is a big choice that you really got to think about. One thing that still blows my mind is the fact that when you walk into high school, teachers are telling you that you have at least 4 years to think about what you want for your future. When realistically, bro, you only got like 1 year in that senior year. Like, bro, what 14-year-old in high school is going to be thinking about what they want to do with their future? Like, bro, when I was 14, I was playing Prime Fortnite. I wasn't thinking about what I wanted to do with my future. There's multiple reasons why kids decide to go to college. You know, they're probably figuring out what they want to do with their lives, or because their parents told them, or they're really just trying to experience the college life. After being in college for 1.5 years now, I can honestly say this shit low-key kind of whacked to me. It's not like how it was back in high school when you was just fooling around with your friends in the hallways. You're really treated like an adult here. But you know, being treated like an adult can be an intimidating and liberating feeling at the same time. But I'm gonna be giving my honest opinion, as I always do in these videos, about college. Now, this is based off my own experience, so not everything's gonna be as accurate as it may seem, so y'all can feel free to complain about it in the comment section. Now, when it comes to college, the first thing you really gotta think about is figuring out what you want to do in college. Now, of course, I know most people are gonna pick a major that leads to a career that makes a lot of money, which, you know, makes sense. You know, you gotta get your bread somehow. But when you sign yourself up for something like, I don't know, computer science, and you're just stressed as hell, you're gonna be wondering why you even picked this shit in the first place. Now, being in college can actually be very beneficial. At the end of your journey, you're gonna be walking out with a degree that will increase your chances of getting a job in your career path. Plus, you'll be getting a real taste of what the college experience is truly like, and what it's like truly just living for yourself. And the best thing is that no one can really tell you shit. You can choose to live on campus, go to college parties, join clubs. It's truly like you're living in a new world. And you're probably gonna meet so many different people. And I can't lie, the high school stereotypes are still kind of there. It's just not as strong as you may think. Like, you got the athletes with their custom college gear walking around with them big ass water jugs. And then I think like the high school thoughts all just became nurses encrypting the baby mama starter pack, you know? And the life of the party just brought their talents basically to college to fail class and peak in college. But you're gonna be meeting so many different people and so many more people than you probably would have in high school, with different personalities that can either be pretty professional or pretty stupid. Another thing about college is that you actually get to choose what classes you want to take based on your major to form your own schedule. If you're a morning person and you prefer to have your classes in the morning, sure, you can do that in college. Or if you're a night owl and you prefer to have your classes all the way up until 9, that's cool too. Plus, you're no longer at school for like 8 hours. Another thing I don't like about college is really just the scheduling, because it's either going to work in your favor or not. Some classes might be from 8 a.m. to 11, and you know, that's cool to some people. Some classes might start from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. But what makes it worse is that if it's a required class that you gotta take, and that's the time that that class starts, it makes your life harder because you actually have to take that class to complete it. It really just depends if you're a morning person or a night owl. Personally, I don't like either of them. If you're dorming, you're truly getting the experience of what it's like to be on your own. You're probably gonna have roommates, and you know, they could be decent people that you can get along with. Living on campus to me isn't always gonna be the best too, because you might have to share a dorm with a bunch of randoms that have bad living habits. Like, imagine you share a dorm with somebody and you know, you got one person that's messy and then the other person just snores mad loud and you guys just don't get along. Plus, dorm would be crazy expensive. It's the reason why I commute to school, because I'm not paying 30 racks to live with a bunch of bimbos in some brick room. But I'm not gonna lie, commuting does suck where I live. Like, dealing with traffic at 7 a.m. is actually fucking hell. Your social life at college can either go both ways. Like, you might have that one solid group of kids that you're just cool with. Like, I feel like college be so independent, bro. It's like you just show up to class, do what you gotta do, and then you just get the fuck out. If you're really around, your social life is gonna be different. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, realistically, you don't have to always be on campus. Another cool thing is definitely the college parties. Now, it's truly a different environment because you're gonna be around people that are either partying, drinking, smoking, just enjoying the moment for what it is. Especially if you're somebody that doesn't really go to a lot of parties. Another thing is the professors. You could have a professor that brings a certain energy to class that makes you eager to learn, or you might meet somebody that just makes their students' lives harder because their life is hard. Like, I hate teachers that are so strict with tardiness. Like, if I'm 2 minutes late to class, are you really gonna mark me tardy? Like, take that stick out your ass, bro. Now, when I tell you this is something that I actually be really beneficial to your college career. Having a professor that you actually talk to. Because if you have a professor that you like and you can create a bond with them, it means that you can get really good opportunities and network with different people. Like, imagine your professor introduces you to somebody and this somebody wants to offer you an internship, which could lead to a potential job right out of college too. Another thing is the college work. Now, college work be so annoying because it's either gonna be hard work and there's not much work to do, or it's gonna be easy and you're just drowning in assignments. Either way, it's still taking away most of my time. Like, bro, I gotta stay inside and finish this essay while all my friends are having fun. It's like that one SpongeBob scene. There's also little things too. Like, the best thing I like about college is the fact that when I gotta go use the bathroom, I could just walk out. Sometimes I even do fuck shit along the sides, cause why not? Or when your professor cancels class. And it's all via email too. The expectations you probably had for college are 9 times out of 10 are gonna be different. The way your parents or your guidance counselor hyped up college to be is not what it may seem. Like, I'm someone that always had a rocky relationship with school. I just don't like doing shit that doesn't either bring me joy or benefit me. Even in college now, I get good grades and I try my best, but I don't like putting my time and effort into something that I know I'm not enjoying. If I was to get rich tomorrow, I'm dropping out of college. If an angel were to come down from the heavens into my room at 3 a.m. and tell me, yo, King, your YouTube channel is blowing up and we got all these brand deals and sponsorships for you, good things are coming. I'm telling you, I am leaving and I'm never coming back. Sorry, Mom. One thing is that I envy people who are just living their lives and not going to college, because you don't have to deal with school. Because it's not like you gotta wake up at 8 in the morning, get to class, just to sit down at a lecture and hear your teacher yap about how the mitochondria is the fucking powerhouse of the cell or some bullshit. But one thing I hate the most about college is the idea of college. Like, bro, it's really just the fact that I have to pay money to get a higher education that blows my fucking mind. Like, some of the material that you're learning in college is available to you online. There's even parts of the world where college is just free for everyone. Like, bro, imagine how beneficial that could be for a lot of people. Plus, going to college now is totally different from how it was 30 years ago. Because in the last 30 years, things have changed. The way I see it with certain careers and how fast the world is changing, as fast as the world changes, careers change. Like, bro, now we got AI, and it's just gonna keep on getting more advanced as time goes on. It's like, bro, you telling me I gotta compete with Karen, the computer wife, to get a job? You may not think that a lot could happen in 4 years, but a lot could happen. So just imagine you're dumping mad money into a career that you can't even land a job in. It's like, what's the point? But if you were to ask me now, If college is worth it, I can really say it just depends, bro. Like, it depends if you know what you want to do with your life and career. If you feel like what you want to do is stable and there's a good return, then by all means, go for it. Like, becoming a doctor or a nurse takes a lot of dedication, but it's a field that is always going to need more people. If you're someone that's only going to college because your parents told you to, or you just don't see a purpose in what you're doing, there's no point in going to college and wasting your time. If you feel like college isn't for you, honestly, that's okay. You're saving yourself time from digging yourself into a deeper hole because you don't enjoy college. At least you leaving college can give you the time to figure out what you want to do with your life. Like, you don't have to go to college to be successful. There's other ways of finding success outside of school. But yeah, that's my opinion on college. It's a bit on the serious.
This was good. This is good. I hope that some of my people out there that's about to go to college go back and listen to this episode. And I don't know. Hold on, let me turn my mic down. So give me 1 second. All right. I hope some of my people that's about to go to college, my niece, my other niece, cousin, they hear some of that. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of like figure it out for themselves on how they feel about college. I, for one, am going to say that the biggest thing about college, being in college, going to college, living at college, excuse me, if you remember that you there to learn, and you get to pick what you want to learn. Now, if you ain't a big fan of learning, I get it. Go do something for a while. That's not college. And then you might find out that you like to learn. Whatever it is that you learn, you might find out that you have to learn. There's no way that a baby can make it to be me. Like, as in, once upon a time, I was a baby without learning. I had to learn how to move, boy. I had to learn how to shuck that jive, shuck it jive. You know what I'm saying? So even if you don't look at it, you may look, even if you may look at it as, oh, I'm going to college, I gotta get up, I gotta go. Yo, they are teaching you something, whatever it is you signed up to learn. So stop looking at it as that. I can see if it was a job. If it was a job, you signed up for that job. Can't complain about it in the sense of, oh, I gotta go there. I shouldn't have signed up. But with the learning, with the school, bro, you headed into some great information right there. Get your ass up out that bed. All right, let's see. Top high school academics. $20.25. Let's see. Top 10 best high schools in the Bay Area. I don't give a damn about no recruits. I want to see what's the grades and what we learning.
I have back-to-back meetings. I can't find my notes.
Let me see. Oh, why school doesn't matter. I can't just play that off gate. Hold on. Top 5 best schools in Michigan. The greatest academic.
How to
comeback
make
in your life.
the greatest academic comeback of your life? Well, let me be very honest with you. You tried, you failed. You tried again, you failed again. You cried, you had panic attacks, and you were stressed and worried about the goals that you have. In fact, you kept failing the entire year. And then you finally bent. But now when it's time for you to wake up, you're actually forgetting the real strength that you have. I know that life has been very tough on you, but you are better than this. In this video, I want to talk about how to pick yourself up from one of the darkest tunnels of your life. Because my dear brothers and sisters, this is the time for you to shine. And let me show you the path towards your success.
I know bruh from somewhere.
The next 5 to 6 minutes are going to be some of the most important minutes of your life. So I'd request you to listen to this carefully. In fact, probably stop doing everything else that you're doing right now and just listen to this. First things first, you need to believe in yourself that you can do it. When I first went to college, my first semester CGPA was 6.64. I almost failed in one of the subjects. I felt really bad. In fact, I remember that day. I was on a call with my mom and I almost started crying. I mean, how weird is it to cry? I mean, it's okay, it's normal. But that was
What,
the
weird?
that
Oh, I
was
thought
the
you said
day
real.
that changed me as a person. I took some time off to reflect on what went wrong. Why did I score so less? How did I waste a lot of time? In fact, why did I waste a lot of time? And these few minutes that I spent with myself, it gave me a lot of clarity on what are the things that I should be doing and what are the things that I should never do. So once this video is
Oh,
done, take
Lord.
some time off. Sit
Sorry,
alone
y'all.
for
Y'all
15
looking at the
minutes
wrong
and
thing.
reflect on your entire
There you
journey.
go.
And then finally make a plan on how are you going to spend the rest of the time that you have to chase your goals. Remember, vision without execution is hallucination. And execution without
Oh
a
my
vision
gosh.
is just blind foolishness.
Y'all look at that again. Vision without execution is hallucination. Execution without vision is just blind foolishness. All right, y'all give me 2 seconds. Let me stay away for 1 second. I'll be right back.
It should be borne in mind that the life of a lamp is inextricably related to the power of its light. The decision found that General Electric's dominant industry position and lack of competition gave it the power to determine bulb lifespan across the entire industry, and that General Electric's primary consideration in setting bulb lifespans was profit. The court considered this when deciding that General Electric had violated the act. 4. Linus Pauling's controversial vitamin C therapy. Linus Carl Pauling was an American chemist, biochemist, chemical engineer, peace campaigner, author, and teacher. Pauling was among the pioneers of quantum.
All right, here we go. Now. Let me see this.
What if you could do all your SEO in one tab? Meet SEMrush, a tool to find winning keywords, create top-ranking content, track your...
If you clicked on this video because you want to learn how to get straight A's effortlessly, you're in the right spot. Getting perfect grades doesn't have to be so complicated. In this video, I'm going to give you a no BS guide on how to study effectively. So throughout my life, I've always had pretty good grades. In primary school, I was a valedictorian. In high school, I had a 4.0 GPA while studying max 2 hours a day. And now, I'm a student at Yale University studying computer science. And over the years, I've built enough knowledge that you can call me like an academic weapon. And I'm not gonna lie with you, I am that guy in school. I'm that Asian boy who just happens to ace all his tests. That Asian kid who just happens to have like 100 different interests, 100 different hobbies, projects, programming, debate, music, piano, you name it. And I'm not trying to show off or sound cocky, but I probably spent the least amount of time studying in my class. But that's because I learned how to study effectively. And now, being at Yale University, an Ivy League institution, studying computer science, I'm surrounded by so many academic weapons. But guys, I'm no different to you. I'm a student, you're a student, and we're both trying to make it out. I've tried it all. I've tried highlighting, the Pomodoro technique, making pretty notes, flashcards, studying with friends, you name it. And in my journey in being an academic weapon, I've learned a lot. And what I've realized is that you can actually make studying simple and fun. So whether you're 13 years old, or whether you're in high school studying APs, the IB, or A-levels, or whether you're a university student, this video will be valuable for you. Because learning is something that's extremely important for every single one of us. So you might as well become an academic weapon now to make your life more enjoyable. So the first thing you need to do is change your broken monkey mindset. I often hear a lot of people saying stuff like, oh, I studied for 10 hours a day, or I studied until 3 a.m. yesterday, and they think it's a flex. But honestly, I don't think it's a flex at all. I don't know about you, but for me, I would much rather study 2 hours a day and still get the same results, if not better, than the student who studied like 12 hours a day. Because what you need to realize is that the time you spend studying does not equal knowledge gained. And it's the same way, like if you want to get shredded in the gym, you don't want to do like 20 sets of 100 push-ups because your arm's gonna die, right? You want to do 3 to 4 sets of reps that are reasonable. Or say you're trying to practice the piano. It is much better to practice 30 minutes a day consistently rather than just like clip out 12 hours in a single day, because you're gonna burn out. Guys, what's most important is that you study effectively. The smartest students that I personally know, they understand the principles of deep work. So for example, one of my roommates, Cody, he took 20 APs back in high school, which is a crazy amount if you know the American education system. And what I've learned from him is the value of having deep work sessions, like study sessions where you're completely focused on a task. And so your goal should be to become that student who only needs 1 hour to finish an economics chapter, whereas most students would need a week.
Right.
So now you might be thinking, Colin, how do I study? Like, what's the best way to study? The first law that I want you guys to be familiar with is called Parkinson's Law. And Parkinson's Law is about setting goals for yourself and deadlines. So let me give you an example. Let's say you had math homework due next week and you gave yourself one Saturday to finish that entire math homework. Because you gave yourself the entire day to do your homework, what ends up happening is that you just waste so much time during that day. You're probably gonna end up working on your math homework for like 6 hours, when in reality, you only probably need like 30 minutes. The point here is that if you give yourself too broad or too long of a lifespan to do something, you're gonna waste so much time. So Colin, what should I do instead? The next time you get an assignment, or the next time you decide you wanna study for a class, try to set deadlines for yourself in hours, in very specific hours. Let's say 2 hours to complete this math piece set. And if you write that down on your whiteboard, or if you write it on Google Calendar, for example, you're gonna save so much more time. And now you will feel that when you give yourself that time constraint, you're like 10 times ultimately more productive. And worst case scenario, if you're not done with your math problem sets by the end of 2 hours, you can always add more time. But you cannot take back time that you procrastinated with. You cannot take back time that you wasted. And that is the key difference here. Also, one thing to note is, guys, don't be like overly unrealistic, right? Don't tell yourself, I'm gonna finish 30,000 word essay in 15 minutes. That's just like complete BS. But still give yourself a little bit of a challenge. And I promise you that by the end of the deep work session, you will be happy and really proud of yourself. So the second important part of this video is answering the question, how do I study? What techniques should I use? Most students, what they do is passive studying. So this looks like, for example, just reading the textbook, just rewriting notes and try to make it look aesthetic and pretty. And then at the end of the day, you're like, I'm done. 10 pages of beautiful notes. I'm totally being productive. Nah, in reality, you're really just like procrastinating. It may seem like you're doing a lot of stuff, but in reality, you're really not. And guys, I was once guilty of this too. Now, it's not to say that writing notes are completely useless. No, it's not. But if your primary method of studying is just rewriting notes from a textbook, then you're doing something wrong. So what should you do? Now, one of the best study techniques, in my opinion, is active recall. Active recall looks like doing past paper questions. It looks like searching for practice exam papers online and just going through all the questions one by one. This, in my opinion, is the most effective way to study and do well for your exams. Because if you're actively trying to take that information from your head to answer questions, soon enough, that knowledge is going to be ingrained in your brain. And most likely, your professor or your teacher is probably going to repeat some of the past exam questions. Maybe it's going to be worded differently, maybe the numbers are slightly changed, but the main concepts are going to be the same. And I truly believe, guys, that if you study by answering questions, you will become an academic weapon. So that is active recall.
So now that one right there, study by answering questions, is... Why did I think of that? We're gonna go ahead and round out the rest of the episode by going one level lower. All right. How to make it through middle school. Let's see what they got for us.
If you look up middle school advice on YouTube, you'll generally get the same kind of video in your feed. It's usually some girl in her room holding an iPhone. How to survive middle school advice. Grades, hygiene, fake friend, drama, fights, relationships. What the fuck? Why did I do that? And usually they give really basic advice in the videos like, be kind, or, talk to people. The thing is though, they look like the kind of person that bullied me whenever I was in middle school. Normally the advice they give really doesn't apply to most kids in middle school because middle school is easy for them. Some of their embarrassing stories are like, oh no, I forgot my locker combo. How will I get through this? Or ha ha ha, I dropped my library books. Oh, silly me. Do you want to know what my most embarrassing story was when I was in middle school? I went into the bathroom and I once found a used tampon in the boys' restroom. Keyword, boys' restroom. Anyways, I'm entering my junior year of high school, so I feel like I can give some practical advice. with hindsight on what I did when I was in middle school, so buckle your fuckles. So buckle down, children. It says, I'm going to enlighten you on how to make middle school not suck as bad. It is gonna suck though. Before you even start the first day of school, look at your schedule. Coming right out of elementary school, you're probably not used to having multiple classes and having to keep track of where your classrooms are. Don't worry, you got this. If your school has a printed layout of the school and where all the classrooms are, I would suggest finding where your classrooms are on the map and making like a route with a highlighter or something, so you're not panicking on the first day to find where your social studies classroom is or something. Also, buy the appropriate school supplies a week or so before as well, so you're not missing anything. You don't want to be like in, I don't know, health class. You don't want to be that one guy who forgets their glue stick on the project that counts for like 50% of your grade. I can't really give you any advice on what to buy, but your school will usually make you a supply list, so just print that out and get everything on it, would be my, yeah. Okay, it's your first day of school. Try your best not to stress out. I know it's a radically different environment than elementary school was, but getting stressed out will just cloud your judgment and make you do really stupid things. And you don't want to be stupid. That's bad. This day is to learn exactly what you're dealing with. How do your teachers seem? Where are your old friends? Who look like new friends? Who are the people you should avoid at all costs? If you get a gist of your environment, you'll have a massive leg up on the other dum-dums who didn't do this. Okay, I'm gonna make this as short as possible, as I know all of you want to get to the juicy social stuff, but hear me out. It's a little interesting thing to know. Very few colleges ever look at your grades from middle school. Mostly look at high school grades, you know, freshmen and up, and if they're like a really, really advanced college, they might look at your 8th grade. But those top colleges won't even weigh your 8th grade that much, so it doesn't really matter. So you aren't gonna get rejected from.
So you must have had to went to a school, like a very prestigious school that not everybody go to, for them to pull something from 8th grade. I wish they would go pull up on my 8th grade school and be like, we want records on. Niggas be like, what you want us to do?
And starve on the street because you failed your 7th grade science class. So don't freak out over a bad grade. This doesn't mean, however, you should slack off completely, because your grades in middle school can influence what kind of classes you get in high school. So in a nutshell, try your best, but just know there is more room for error in this time, so don't stress out too much over it. Use this time as kind of a learning opportunity to learn what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and to figure out where you stand in life. Alright, here we go. Here's the moment you've all been waiting for. Social life in middle school. At this age, people are still trying to figure out their personality, and combined with puberty, this can result in some very, interesting results. That one guy who was very loud in elementary school may have become super quiet in middle school, or the girl who was really quiet may have become extremely extroverted and is going out with a lot of boys. On the topic of going out with people, just don't. I know that Cody is really hot and everything, but if you do form a relationship with him, it will most likely come crashing and burning down. Everyone's really immature and they don't really know what they're doing yet. Don't know how to provide emotional support. They barely even know how to speak to people. And they can barely hang out outside of school because they have to ask their mommy to take them everywhere. So basically, just avoid relationships altogether and just wait till high school. Maybe not even that. It's only like 3 more years away. And for the love of God, do not do the no, unholy things with your middle school girlfriend or boyfriend. You are 12, for God's sake. 12. Go play Roblox or something, Mike.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Hey, I hope y'all. I played that because I know if I go back to this episode and I run it back for my sons and them, you know what I'm saying, they'll really enjoy this episode right here. So that's why I'm doing this. And you know, most importantly, school. I'm telling you, stop playing with school. Stop playing with school and saying it's this and saying it's that. You're in there to learn. They can't download it straight into your head. So we gotta get to a place where we can get it from. It's school. It's school. It's school. And ain't nobody sitting at home teaching themselves. Because if you had to be at home teaching yourself, your ass gonna be dumb. So, excuse me. All right. That being said, you know what time it is. We're gonna go ahead and round out the rest of this episode. I start a little early so that I can end a little early. Give me a little something to eat, get a little relaxation. I be up working behind the scenes before y'all even know about it. So, back to school, we going there. We gonna be there in a couple days. Everybody, all the kids, get your ass out. This has been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. Y'all join in again tomorrow for Healthy Mental Thursday. We'll be back fresh. We will be doing Healthy Mental Thursday, but I'm not sure if we'll be doing Fun Friday this week. But either way, starting after Fun Friday this week, we will not have an episode for the next 2 weeks. We'll be off for 2 weeks, y'all. So get your popcorn ready for when we come back. But we're going to be off for 2 weeks. And then when we do come back, it'll be school time and we'll be getting everything ready to go for that. So y'all stay breezy out there. Whatever else I can say as an outro, I love you. You know what I'm saying? And this has been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. This is DGTA TV. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Healthy Mental Thursday. Peace.
And not get nearly as much done as you can for a half hour hard just running. So I have to get those things in. The only exceptions are injuries and sickness. I do everything that I can to put my body and my brain in a good place so that I'm keeping my engine smooth. I'm changing my oil, I'm changing my spark plugs, I'm making sure that it's operating. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I know that I've done my best to keep it working the best that it can. There's consequences that you pay to constantly seeking comfort and avoiding discomfort and avoiding hard work. And those consequences are you're never going to feel self-realized.
Yes, sir.
You're never going to feel like you accomplished anything. You're never going to have this feeling of understanding that difficulty and struggle and the ability to push through that is a muscle. And you develop that muscle by doing it. And once you do, you develop a lot of self-satisfaction and you develop peace of mind and you understand that you can overcome obstacles. If you don't have to overcome obstacles, you never know whether or not you can. Unless you are faced with actual adversity, you don't understand how you're going to feel and how you're going to react when you overcome that adversity. Things that are difficult, when you do these difficult things, you're stressing your mind, or I should say, not even stressing your mind, exercising your mind and exercising your body's ability to manage intense situations. It's hard. It's very difficult. It's very testing. And in doing so, you lessen the stress of regular life. The more stressful situations that I experience, the more I understand what they are and the more I can relax. But it's also like a matter of constantly being exposed to these stressful situations where there's not a long break in between doing stand-up or a long break in between martial arts training where to the point where anxiety can build up, and then once you get into it, it's almost an unusual situation instead of a usual one. What I tell people is the best advice that I've ever heard, the best advice I ever came up with, is that live your life like you're the hero in your movie. And right now is when the fucking movie starts and your life is a shitbag disaster. Pretend you are, right now, you are in the part of the movie that starts and it shows you as a fucking loser. And just decide that you're a loser anymore. Live your life like there's a documentary crew following you around and you are analyzing your own behavior. Do what you would want to do so that your kids one day would look back at it and see that documentary and look on it with pride, like, wow, my dad was a bad motherfucker. He really did what he had to do. Wow, my mom really got her shit together. I love a success story, but even more than a success story, I like a dude who fucks his life up and then gets it back together again story. Those are my favorite stories.
Yes.
And the way to do that,
yeah, let's go.
You think that you are the hero in your own fucking movie, and then you got to sit down and you got to write shit down. Write down what you need to do.
Let's go. I think that's enough motivation for us right there. Oh man, that was nice, because when I look at all of the things that I'm doing throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. Then I look back what I did throughout the week, throughout the day, throughout the month. Excuse me. I say, wow, did I met that goal. And it helps, like he said, when you've written those goals down. Like if you ain't write it down, or you ain't really like put the motion on top of it, then you see what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's my motivation for my mans out there. Hey, hold him down. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Hold him down out there, my mans. All right, so we're gonna move on into this topic for the day, which is remind me again. Being wise. All right, I know where we're going with this. All right, I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds of this, and then we're gonna move on. All right, just rock with me. All right. Just a few seconds. Hey. What does it? Oh. BY is. Oh. One more. Yeah. For me. Free up the eye. All right, that's it.